Guest days is a measure of the overall activity at the hotel. For example, a guest who stays at the hotel for 3 days is counted as 3 guest days. Using the HighLow method, estimate a cost formula for custodial supplies expenses. Then, using the cost formula that we derive, what amount of custodial supply expense would you expect to be incurred at the hotel for an occupancy level of 11,000 guest days? Let's begin with our high-low method. For the high-low method, our first step is to select our high level of activity, which happened to occur in the month of July, with 12,000 guest days and a total supply expense of $13,500. The low level of activity occurs in the month of March at 4,000 guest days and a supply expense of $7,500. We next need to calculate the change in the level of activity or hotel guest days and the change in supply expense. The change in hotel guest days or units is 8,000. The change in our expense is 6,000. Next, we simply calculate our variable cost per guest or per unit. We do this by using our high-low method, which takes the rise over the run, and our rise will be the change in expense of $6,000 divided by the change in the run, or the number of activity, of 8,000. So we get a variable cost per guest of 75 cents. Next, we need to calculate our fixed cost per month. We can select either the total high or the low cost data point. We've selected the high cost data point, where our total supply expense was $13,000 and the number of guests was 12,000. To calculate our variable cost associated with this level of guests, we multiply our 12,000 guests by the 75 cents per guest variable cost to arrive at a total variable cost of $9,000. If our total supply expense is $13,500 and 9,000 is the variable component, 13,500 minus 9,000 gives us our fixed component of $4,500. Our cost formula then is our total cost, or Y, equals $4,500 in fixed costs plus 75 cents per hotel guest day. The last thing we're asked to do is calculate our total cost at 11,000 guest days. Our variable cost at this level of activity would be $8,250. This is our variable cost per unit of 75 cents per guest day multiplied by the 11,000 guest days. Our fixed cost remains constant at $4,500. So our total cost at 11,000 guests will be our variable cost of $8,250 plus $4,500 in fixed costs for a total of $12,750.